Hello, Talking After Dark family, and welcome to another episode of Talking After Dark. Let's entitle this episode Kings and Queens. Kings and Queens because I think that in our own rights that women are queens and men are kings, and when we relate one to another, we should see each other that way. Certainly if we find occasion to want to spend time with this particular person, especially in these days that we have thought about it carefully and considered the fact that this person is worthy of our time and our efforts. And when we get to that point and we decide that we're gonna go out on a date and we're gonna finally let this person take us out, let them into our space, then surely we think highly of them to even allow them in our space. So when the date comes and we do go out, and let's just say the guy asks you out and you oblige and you go, and he asks you where you want to go and he takes you where you want to go, and you guys plan to do some things, and in all that you do, he takes care of everything. He takes care of the transportation, the gas in the vehicle, the car, the meals, the food, the drinks, whatever it is you guys are going to do, and you have a great time. So much so that you decide that you would allow there to be a second date, and you guys go out on a second date, and wherever it is you make plans to go, and whatever things you plan to do, you do those things, and in doing so, again, he takes care of everything. Some people call that gentlemanlike, and they say that that's what a man is supposed to do. Now, I would think that if you guys saw enough in each other to go out on a second date and subsequently a third, fourth, or fifth, or sixth date, however many of those dates are, and you allow this guy to take care of everything because he's the man and that's what he's supposed to do. And you really like this guy, but you only go out with him because he asked you to go. You like him as well, but you only go because he asks you. But if you like him and you feel some kind of way about him, why can't you ask him to go out? Why does he always have to be the one to ask? And if that's the case, why does he always have to pick up the tab? It shouldn't be because he's the man or because he's a gentleman. No, it shouldn't be that. Dating is like a test. Men are testing women and women are testing men. We're trying to find out if this person is a match for us. And being a match doesn't mean that you watch a person do everything. It means that you participate. You show that you are in unison with them, that you are able to be a team player. You're able to be in partnership. You're able to hold your own. You're able to have them as they have you. So it means that if a guy takes you to the movies and he buys the tickets, buy the popcorn. And I shouldn't say the guy. If a person takes you on a date and they buy the popcorn, you buy the drinks. If a person takes you to dinner and they pay for the meal, offer to pay the tip, even if they don't let you. And it doesn't have to be whether a guy does it or whether the lady does it. It just shows that you are mindful of them. You are respectful of them, their time, their money, their considerations as it relates to you. It only shows that you are thoughtful, and you are thoughtful enough to consider all of those things that it takes in going on a date, and all of those things that make this situation looks right and shows that you are able to be a partner. You are able to be a team player. You are able to do for them as if they do for you. You're not looking for someone to take care of you. You're looking for someone that you can work with. Signs and signals matter. They make a difference. And sometimes we take things for granted so much so that we actually run good people away because we don't show any signs of consideration. We get in these conversations about who we are, who we think we are, and we want to share with this person who we are. And we keep talking. We never stop talking. We make the conversations totally about us. Me, 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 me. We never stop to listen allow the person to respond to those things that you have said about yourself, or things that you have said that might warrant a conversation. You constantly talk and you never allow feedback or input. And you keep the conversations about you. You don't allow the person to interject anything about themselves. And it's okay that you think you're great and you're wonderful and all those things, but certainly you want to give that person some opportunity to tell you about themselves so that you can know who they are and you can get a feel for who they are. You can feel their energy and you guys can have a transference of energy one with the other, and you can kind of feel your way through, because a first date can be hard enough by itself without adding any undue pressures to it that will cause a person not to see you in a great light and in a great disposition. You want that person to be interested enough to want to date you, come back for a second date. But you don't want to say too much or do too much to run a person off and mess your chances up at having an opportunity to have an engaging conversation with this person or being able to see this person on a subsequent date. Everybody's looking at everybody else unconsciously. So the man is hearing what you're saying, he's listening, he's watching your moves, your actions, your conversations, your energies, all those things. And on the other hand, vice versa, the other person is doing the same thing. They're listening, they're watching, they're observing all those things that you're saying and you're doing and you're not saying and you're not doing. Because in as much as we think that what we do and what we say matters, what you don't do and what you don't say matters. It's simple as saying a person does something for you that warrants a thank you, but you never say thank you. Somebody sneezes and you never say God bless you. Somebody says anything about anything that warrants a reply, but you never offer it, you never give it. You know, the person brings you home after the evening or after the event, and you don't call them back or text them back and thank them for their time, or thank them for dinner, or thank them for the movies, or whatever it is that you did. All of those little things that we take for granted to someone else are a big deal. We want to move forward and we want to go on and get on about life and about relationships and about moving on and having an opportunity to see things differently and do things differently. And part of that means being conscious of the fact that it's not just about us. It's also about somebody else. Somebody else is taking their time, their monies, their resources, their considerations to consider spending time with us. That's a big deal. That's not just to be taken lightly. That's a big deal. It's such a big deal that we should give it more attention. We should pay attention to the fact that this woman has gone to get her hair done. She's got her nails done. She's got a new outfit on just to go out on a date with you. That's a big deal. And it's not to be taken lightly. You should compliment her on the way she looks, or how pretty her hair is, or her nails is, how good she smells, or just whatever that is. Those things don't mean a lot to a lot, but they ought to. They should mean a lot, because a lot of consideration, a lot of time, and a lot of effort goes into the preparation of preparing for a date. Ladies, even the guys who would take you out on a date. Guys are so caught up in fashion and all these other things now that they do the same things. They get a fresh haircut and they get fresh clothes on and clean the whip and make sure the ride is clean, is smelling good, is looking good, and they take you to the nicest. Everybody is doing something extra. Everybody is doing special to be with the person that they're taking out. And we need to be mindful of that. We need to be able to say to this person that I appreciate you. Even if you don't see them again, the fact is that each of you took out time and you made special concessions and considerations for this date. And you want the date to go forward. You want it to be another date and a second date and a third date, or however many dates those are, to get you to a point that you realize that this is somebody that you could date. And just because you date does not mean that you are exclusive or that you are, it just means you're getting to know each other. And getting to know each other can be it can be a process, however long you determine the length of time that is. There's certainly no rush to to give it a time frame um, or anything like that. It's just a matter of you taking your time. But I can tell you that the more you see each other, the more you date, the more you guys are probably going to want to see each other, and the better opportunities you will have to be in a relationship. But one of the things that you learned about before you got to the relationship is that this is somebody that you want to be with, and you want to be with them because of all those things that you saw, all those things that you heard, all those things that they did or didn't do that was pleasing in your sight. Enough for you to say, I like this person. I want to spend some time with this person. I want to get to know this person. And the other part about that, or the flip side of that, is sometimes people do things just to impress you. That's the killer. When people feel like they have to impress you. And that means if they're trying to impress you more than they're trying to be themselves, then what you get is a representative. You don't get the real person. The real person shows up later, but the representative comes out and he hangs around, or she hangs around for a while, and they show you what they think you want to see. And what they think you want to see might be right and for the moment, and it might be exactly on point. But if that's not really who you are, and you just pretentious and pretending to be all this, that, or the other, just because you're laying it on thick and you're pretending, man, what a waste of time. What a waste of your time and their time, because eventually, the real you are going to show up. And when the real you show up, are they going to like you? Are they going to want to be with you? Will they deem you a person of interest, a further interest, because what they heard and what they saw and what you did then was not who they see now. And that's going to be a problem. That is really going to be a problem. And hopefully,